Hi, my name is Rexy Pukinikin, and we're ballin' today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday. At what cost? Right? Yes, Slay Queen. Here we are. Just wanna shout out real quick. Sunday Sports. That new just came from the US. Now we ready to put the sweat in throughout the summer. You know what I'm saying? We got the boxes on too. Hey, that's all I'm saying. Shout out to MTV Jesse and Bloody Sunday for keep on keeping the boy dripped out and fresh. But that's balling for you. I spent way too much money and now I'm crazy broke. But that's balling for you, ladies and gentlemen. And really, the 20s is where you got to ball. Oh yeah, if you haven't picked up on this is one of those loosey goosey episodes. We got a stand up spot tomorrow, and we got a lot of errands to run, and yeah, that's that. And I think all around, good job, and yeah, Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri. First of all, if you're not convinced that this guy is going to win the Drivers' Championship this year, first of all, the guy has car in his name, right? It's like practically made for this, right? You can pretty much say that he was almost like born to drive a car for a living. You could say that. And then get this. Check this out. OP. That motherfucker too overpowered, man. While every other driver that has won a race this season have gotten themselves one. Oscar Piastri, by round 5, or after round 5 of the 2025 F1 season, he's gotten himself 3. That is right. Oscar Piastri is finally here. He's here. Sitting currently 10 points above his teammate Lando Norris, who is leading by quite a margin, let's just say, after even the first 2 races. But it was a climb back that was inevitable. I saw this in the past, but when I was in the past, I saw the future. I said, Oscar Piastri. He's not satisfied. He's not satisfied. First of all, he's already been disappointed in how, the past 2 seasons has treated him. Like, only just about the second half of last season were we like, oh, okay. Like, even Oscar was like, oh, okay, now I'm fine. Right? Like, I'm finally getting what I deserve. And then now, here we are. And it's looking mighty grim for the rest of them. That's all I can say. Because Oscar Piastri is leading the Drivers' Championship. The World Drivers' Championship leader is Oscar Piastri right now. Right now, going into the race weekend next weekend, not the upcoming weekend, but the next weekend, right? Because that's why this is a loosey-goosey episode. Not much going down this weekend. However, next weekend, we start it back up again. Let these guys take a little break after going 3 weekends in a row. But yeah, right now, this is the man to beat. Right now, a lot of people are already making a lot of gutsy calls, which admittedly I'm making the same goddamn calls, but let me just tell you this. I've been saying them way longer than the rest of these people have. The rest of these folks, the regular folks. No, I ain't no regular folk. And neither is Oscar Piastri. No. He's one of a kind, let me tell you. And the guy the guy that is going to cause him the most problems, the guy that is going to cost Oscar Piastri the most problems is also one of a kind. And it's Max Verstappen. Now, you know what I'm saying? There was a part of me after that first turn in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. There was a moment where I was just like, you know what? Max deserves something. Like, I'm saying, like, not even in a bad way. Not even. I was going like, you know what? This is weird. So you're going to let him win 4 in a row where he kind of drove with that, let's just say, tactic in mind. Mind games, right? This is all mind games. He did that and it worked successfully for him. And now we're gonna try to just completely shut him out. Given it was gradual, I mean, it was really gradual how it kind of went step by step. Last season, I think, was really the one that did it. But Max Verstappen still doesn't give a fuck. He still does not give a single fuck. But the FIA finally does. Weird, balance that we have now. You might be able to censor Max Verstappen, but you can't censor his raw race pace. It's fucking raw. Right? Take away all his swear words. Put words in his mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now they censored the word bloody. He said, isn't that bloody lovely? They censored bloody. So he's not like technically even swearing. But then they're putting the bleep over the bloody. So then people are saying that they're interpreting as, oh, that is simply fucking lovely. Like, that's way more aggressive than bloody. Right? So now even worse, we're misinformationing. We're fake newsing Max Verstappen. And look at this is what you're doing to your defending 4-time world champion. You're getting him to go to the press and say, I can't say anything. I am not allowed to say anything. And the fact that the 4-time defending world champion says to the press, I can't say anything. Right. Which in turn is basically saying that Red Bull's PR team is telling him you can't say anything. And so he says, I can't say anything. And, he adds his own twist, of course. Even if I said it, you can't handle it. Like, it's that fucking... Hey, shout out to Jack Nicholson. His birthday was just yesterday, I think. Max Verstappen's at that level where he's like that Jack Nicholson. Fuck, I'm forgetting the movie, but he's just like, the one with Tom Cruise. Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Like, seriously, that's what Max Verstappen is doing right now. And it's true. What he's saying is true. If you broke down all the facts, and you know what? Here's the thing. it's not fun for Max Verstappen. Okay, obviously, none of this is fun. The pole position was fun. That was fucking spectacular, right? Magic. Verstappen magic once again, right? But here's why Verstappen isn't enjoying this, but he has to play along. First of all, he just won 4 in a row, right? And the first one that he won was arguably basically because of the FIA's fuck-ups. So, oh my God, it's a full circle moment. Oh my God, it's a full circle moment. I just cracked the whole fucking code right here while I'm recording this podcast episode. I didn't even type this up before. It's the fact that the Formula One karma has finally caught up to Max Verstappen. He played the freaking edge of the rule book, right? He was, in one way or another, he found the loopholes, and there was a bit of luck or bad decisions by someone else that played in the favor of him years ago, right? 2021. And after that, there's been success for the last 4 drivers' championships in a row for Max Verstappen. And just when he right about broke almost all the records, right? And Lewis Hamilton's in this transitional period where he's going to, Ferrari. Everything's changing and shifting. And now finally McLaren wins the Constructors' Championship last year. There it is. It's fully gone around the loop. And the good karma for Max Verstappen in the F1 world and, when it comes to the FIA stewards, that's it. Now it's going to be a bumpy ride after this, man. But you got 4 out of it. So I think, let's look at the positives. And that's the whole thing, the point that I'm getting to. The raw race pace that this man beholds and the fact that this guy worked so hard that it's psychopathic and the fact that it's probably God-given as well. All of this, right? Max Verstappen, respect and love, because that pole position and the pole positions you're setting, fantastic. Every time you do something this year, it will just remind the haters how goddamn undeniable you are. Maybe they're delusional and they actually didn't appreciate you when you were winning. But now the shizzle that you're doing on race weekends is so undeniable. It's insane. And I don't know. Like the fact that 2 pole positions in this triple header with McLaren looking like the way they looking and a race win on top of that in Japan. And now I just don't know anymore. Like now I literally don't know anymore about the drivers going into each race weekend. Like whatever Norris, Oscar, Russell, any of the Ferraris do, it doesn't matter. Max Verstappen is there. Max Verstappen is there. Pole position or, podium or whatever it is. It's absolutely insane. And, also big improvements from my homies, Williams, Atlassian Racing. Right, I have to mention their main sponsor or whatever. Double points. Williams double points in Saudi Arabia. Not the first time they got double points, but a better double points result than the first one. And second time this season already with double points. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay. there's still some differences with Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon when it comes to the way they drive the car. But in terms of how this team is being managed and what they're delivering on race weekends, I like this. I like this so much. Please, more. Please, more. And the prediction that I gave at the start of the season, Williams podium, guaranteed. I mean, it's just either Alex or Carlos or both fucking, right? They got it. And I know they haven't even like unleashed the beast, in a way that they haven't even like. Yeah, dude, shout out to Atlassian, because that Australian company just dropped the bag, and that bag was very necessary to the steps that have been taken and improvements, and they're getting my boy Alex and Carlos on a podcast, which is great. They're trying. They think a lot. But that in a way, that's almost like the problem is because they actually have to, there's so many layers of like PR or whatever that they have to like think about what they're saying, where podcast is a lot more of just like instinctual. I don't know. But shout out to them for making them and just making these double points a thing, which I hope in May and onwards will be a regular thing. And I think it will be. It's just reps and the consistency, and it'll just increase over time. I love it. Williams, I love it. Isack Hadjar. Isack Hadjar will be probably one of the only human beings on earth praying that he does not get promoted in his job. Or, he's just like, please, dear God. Dear God, no, please. Please don't promote me to Red Bull Racing, please. I like racing bulls. I like this car, please. Oh, man. Yuki Tsunoda crashed out in Saudi Arabia with his former teammate, Pierre Gasly. Yuki, that's what you fucking get for what you did to Sainz in Bahrain. All right. I did not say that. That was, the fucking British bipolar version of me. Sorry, I plead insanity. I actually like you, Yuki. You're a great guy. Yeah, Isack Hadjar, P10 finish in Saudi Arabia. Yuki Tsunoda crashes out. Isack Hadjar tied in points with Yuki Tsunoda. Liam Lawson still sitting at 0 points. I don't know what's gonna happen. This is not a great situation they're in, because let me drop some more facts. Sorry, I have to go back to, sucking off Max Verstappen, but I mean, this guy just simply is the GOAT. Let me drop these stats on you. Max Verstappen currently sitting 2 points behind Lando Norris in the driver's standings in P3 at 87 points. So Verstappen 87 points, Norris 89 points, Piastri 99 points, right? Makes sense. Not too difficult, even for me, who's like a disgrace to his family. Like, that's math that I can do. So then get this math, right? Because I'm sure the audience is very much more intelligent than I am. Max Verstappen has 87 points. Red Bull Racing has 89 points. So, and get this, Red Bull Racing 10 points ahead of Ferrari. So Max Verstappen himself has outscored Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. 5 races into the 2025 season. That says something. Of course, I could be a hater. Say that Ferrari, blah, 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 miserable, blah, blah, blah. Oh, F1, Ferrari F1 fan experience, blah, 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 right? But I'm not going to be negative. Why add negativity in such a negative world? Why not add positivity? Max Verstappen is on a level that you cannot fathom right now. I'm not even going to be surprised if Max Verstappen actually maybe somehow ends up P2. Right? But yeah, it's just looking real interesting right now. But at least with all the teams, everyone scored points now. Alpine scoring points in Bahrain. And yeah, some things that I think it's pretty surprising to me, or things that I got wrong, because I want to own up to my mistakes. Round 3 to 5, which was the triple header that we just witnessed through April. Well, this one I will admit, I predicted Carlos Sainz to finish in the top 5. We're not there yet. Williams, let's take this slow. Right, we're not there yet. We will be there one day. It's okay. Let's take this slow. Whatever we need to do. Bam. All right. Kimi Antonelli podium. I really thought he was... But you know what? Now that the more and more, it's like, man, you know, old money man Russell, old money man George, he's just doing something that's like pretty spectacular right now in terms of like hitting form, you know, in his F1 career. So the only scenario where Kimi Antonelli would realistically end up on podium is if Merck is quite fast, like up there with the McLaren or Verstappen, and then George Russell gets unlucky, right? Or it must be like a horrendous weekend for McLaren or something. But I do think Kimi Antonelli will do this soon. I don't think it's going to take like till the end of the season. I think very soon we're just going to see some raw race pace that he's been bringing out, and everything will fall in order for Kimi Antonelli. So that's it. I still have faith. But yeah, sorry, I got that a little wrong. I got a little too enthusiastic. I really thought it was going to be... Look, honestly, last season spoiled us. It was so much more chaos. Like, last season was really chaotic. This season, yes, of course, chaos as well, but it hasn't been insane yet. So let's get to that slowly. Of course, I mentioned this already, but the fact that Verstappen scored pole position twice in this triple header is insane to me. Yeah, I already erased it, but I never predicted it. I predicted the Japan one, but I thought after that it was just over. But it really is never over with Max Verstappen. This is a surprise, and this is more like just this overall start to the 2025 season. Fernando Alonso has not scored a point yet. This is just like, it's not, and this is not even like pointing at Fernando Alonso. This is just like weird. Like, how many things have gone wrong in order for this to be the result after 5 rounds? Like, this is actually like just confusing to me at this point. Buddy, you were such a talent, promising rookie. What happened? You were Fernando Alonso. You were such a promising rookie, man. What the hell happened to you? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe Aston Martin, they're getting their shizzle together for next year. Or maybe they're just waiting on that one, upgrade package that's going to do a lot. But I do think that Fernando Alonso has also just gotten maybe unlucky in some races. I mean, This guy is definitely not like having the best of times. I mean, the rookie that he manages, Gabriel Bortoleto, who is a rookie now in the Formula One season, quite literally almost took Fernando Alonso out, which means you almost just took out your manager, your career kind of manager. You almost took him out. I mean, there's definitely, you know what I'm saying? Because I think, managers take 20% to Fernando, and he's going to add a little bit of extra tax for this one race weekend, you know what I'm saying? A couple percentages upwards just to be like, yay. You owe me a little bit for that one, all right? So, that's that. And, of course, shout out to Haas once again for the double points in Japan. I think when it comes to at least, I say P6 downwards, that's one crazy battle that I think is going to bring a lot of us entertainment, great battles. Just like, if the top seems a little bit boring, with Oscar winning all the time. So that's that with the F1 world. It's been fun. We got a little nice classic UFC fight night out in Kansas City this Saturday night. Kids, cigarettes are healthy. Or that's at least what one fighter would almost say that's fighting in the main event. We have Carlos Prates, fighting nerd, going against Ian Garry. Ian Garry ranked number 7 in the welterweight division. Carlos Prates ranked number 13 in the welterweight division. This is what we're talking about. This is as real as it gets in terms of just entertainment in the UFC. Yes, of course, the championship fights, the pay-per-views, the ba-ba-de-ba in the Madison Square Garden or whatever. But this is the real stuff, man. This is the real deal right here, and both these gentlemen are a real deal. First of all, I want to shout out Ian Garry, because when I saw him enter the UFC, I thought it was right around the time that Paddy the Baddy was, getting introduced to the UFC. And I think that Ian Garry has been a very great company man for the fights and the matchups that he's taken. First of all, I was already surprised of the Shavkat Rakhmonov fight last year. I didn't think Ian Garry was going to take up that challenge, but he did. And then get this, he had some moments, right, with freaking Shavkat Rakhmonov, right? And now he goes against Carlos Prates, who is ranked lower than him. But Carlos Prates being probably in the UFC's eyes, or like we're just expecting him to just be this, next highlight reel guy. Basically like Charles Oliveira, right? Just another Brazilian savage, right? That just gets these bonuses, right? Just pure entertainment. And Carlos Prates has done that. Fighting nerd himself, and fighting nerd being 19-0 in the UFC currently. Right now, I will say this: I do not think that the fighting nerd record is going to take a loss this weekend. I'm sorry, Ian Garry. I really am. And in a way, this is almost like a brotherly, like Ian Garry. They're doing a little trash talking, but Ian Garry very like, involved with like Brazilian culture. You know what I'm saying? And Carlos Prates being Brazilian himself. But yeah, dude, 16 KOs in his pro career. That is pretty scary. And so far, he is 4-0 with just getting his opponents out of the octagon. Just 4-0 in the UFC and 4-0 knockouts, finishes, bonuses. I don't know what to say. Vicious, effortless, pristine technique. I don't know. That's like what I can say about John Silva, about Mauricio Ruffi, what about Callao Barajo. These guys are next level. These guys are simply next level. I want this to be the year of the fighting nerd. Every single fighting nerd fight this year, dubs. I want these guys to be the face of the UFC. These guys are unbelievable. They remind me of real life superheroes. Like I was a fucking 6-year-old or something, but no, I'm 25, right? I'm supposed to make something of my life, but no. These men are making something of their life, and it's way better result than me trying. So please. Carlos Prates, do me proud. Ian Garry, shout out to you, seriously, for taking these tough challenges. And I think it's really going to pay out one day, but not this weekend, unfortunately for you. Sorry, brother. Yeah, bro, Carlos Prates, the nightmare. The nightmare for all these, like, PSA, like, public service announcement, like... He's a nightmare for them, dude. He is single-handedly, battling the 40-50-year anti-smoking propaganda, right? I mean, I think Philip Morris needs to sign a deal with this guy instantly, make him a brand ambassador or something, right? Because this guy just rips darts. What does he say? He smokes like almost a pack a day. Almost a pack a day. Not a pack a day. Almost a pack a day. Under a pack a day. But he's a high-level athlete, and he seems to have the conditioning for it. So, cigarettes, are they actually trying to kill you? Are they actually trying to kill you? But that's about that, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, banger matchups throughout the main card as well. I mean, with Anthony Smith fighting against my Chinese brother Jung Ming Young, who I think is a great prospect in the light heavyweight division. We got some technical matchups. We got some big man fireworks. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. That might lead to something horrendous. Randy Brown versus Nicolas Dalby. I think that's a banger, like technical, striking, welterweight matchup. And Ikram Aliskerov trying to make a comeback after last summer's Robert Whittaker KO. Bam. That's it. That's that. In terms of the UFC F1 sports world, ladies and gentlemen, take example of Anthony Edwards. Now, I know I could go and talk about the NBA playoffs right now, which I share a good amount of interest in. I mean, there are some early games during the weekend, which I will catch up on and watch some series now. And, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, like, fully, go down the deep end. I've already done that. That was almost a decade ago. But now just going to enjoy it for what it is. And Anthony Edwards being one of the prime, NBA players that kind of pulled me back in. I had... those the freaking Golden State Warriors, those guys in the golden age of their time, that was the best, Then Jimmy Butler in the Heat, when that started, that had me going for a while. Even when Jimmy Butler was in the Timberwolves, which people kind of, that period people kind of forget, but he was hitting some game winners when he was in the Timberwolves. I think that was almost like, in a way or another, a predecessor to Anthony Edwards, man. They know how to play this PR game, and NBA is one big old PR machine. But Anthony Edwards representing what this podcast is all about. Ballin'. At what cost? You want to ball? You want to be one of the basketball ballers? Just top ballers, top young ballers. What cost are you willing to pay? Well, Anthony Edwards has paid a total of $370,000 in fines handed out by the NBA because he's balling. Simply for balling. That's it, man. So, NBA would be nothing right now without Anthony Edwards. Right, and the more ruckus he makes, the better. There could be even a conspiracy that you could say that, sorry for being ADHD, but there's a conspiracy that you can almost say that Adidas are willingly paying these fines for Anthony Edwards, because that's kind of like the marketing campaign that Adidas has been going on with Anthony Edwards. It's like, oh, they try to shut you up, but you keep balling, right? It's like NBA tries to keep shutting him up, but I don't know if Anthony Edwards said that, I love Kanye, instantly the deal falls apart. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, in a way, I respect Anthony Edwards a lot. He got the most recent fine was from a few days ago. He got fined $50,000 for saying, "My dick bigger than yours," which again is just truth. And again, on like a human level, it's just messed up. It's just like there's literally a group of other people screaming that to you. Why can't you scream something back? I don't know. This has been and then look, I look in the comment sections. It's the same stuff that I've been seeing from 10 years ago. So like the problems haven't been fixed. Maybe the good stuff has improved. I'm sure that the play-in tournament or like the fact that they have like a mid-season tournament is like it's like good for them. I'm sure that's positive in some way, but like the negative stuff is still there. Like the comments are still saying like, oh, but refs, if they make a bad call, nothing happens to them. It's like, dude, that's been commented on. That's what I've been thinking about the NBA and the whole game of basketball, or at least how they officiate it, for the fucking past fucking decade, and that's why I had to steer away from it. So $370,000 total, $50,000 for saying my dick bigger than yours. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. That's balling at what cost? Literally balls. Get it? Balling at $50,000. My dick bigger than yours at $50,000 a piece. This is just the X, Y, and Z to life right here. Balling at what cost? This is the X, Y, and Z. This is a mathematical, right? It's like a representation, philosophical representation of what could be and how to live your life. Anthony Edwards is living this goddamn life. I hope I get to meet you in person one day, because seriously, you're inspiring me, and you're the reason why I started doing this pod in the first place. So shout out to Anthony Edwards. This is it for today, for this week. I'll get back to y'all next week, and stay balling. See ya.